Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides the opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. The Outlook, serving the residents of East Multnomah County for more than 100 years. The region's #1 source for information, The Outlook provides readers with intensely local coverage of the issues and people that impact our lives and community. The Mountain Hood Cable Regulatory Commission, advocating on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels. A very special thanks to all our sponsors who help make our programming possible.
Hi, I'm Monica Weitzel, the host of Community Hotline. Every week we share stories about local nonprofits and community groups. Tonight's show starts with the Mount Hood Community College Transitions Program. Transitions was designed to assist women who've overcome some pretty tough obstacles and who now want to continue their education. Find out how this program helps support those women as they seek to better their lives and the lives of their families. Then we'll talk with the Sandy Actors Theater. Since the mid-'70s, this local theater group has been entertaining the public with shows ranging from body comedy to serious drama. Tonight's guest is local celebrity Tobias Anderson. After an illustrious career acting in Hollywood, Tobias came to the Northwest to make his mark here. His next gig is directing the Sandy Actors Theater production of Vanya and Sonia and Masha and Spike. Stick around to hear him talk about this production and about the joys of community theater. There's always something good on Community Hotline, and it's all coming up next. Welcome to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. And tonight we have a show where we have two different interviews, very different from each other, but they're both going to be enjoyable for you. We're going to start out first talking with the Mount Hood Community College Transitions Program. And here to talk about the Transitions Program, we have Lori Townsend. You are the Transitions Program Coordinator.
Correct. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
And Rhonda Johnson, you are a Transitions Program student and mentor.
Yes.
So it's good to have you here too, Rhonda.
Thank you.
So the Transitions Program at Mount Hood Community College has been around for a while, and I've done some interviews in the past with women, and I've always been really impressed by the hard work that the women have done in this program and the things they've overcome to really advance their lives and and better themselves. And so I'd love to hear a little bit about maybe about this program, why it came about, and what the goals are for people entering this program. You want to start, Mallory?
Yeah, sure. So the program has actually been around about 30 years. It came at a time when there were actually originally about 17 community colleges in Oregon that decided to start these programs, and they were originally designed for misplaced homemakers. That's how I know it. We laugh now, right? Things have changed quite a bit in the last 30 years. And we still get a few, we still get a few misplaced homeworkers, but women with divorce and all kinds of situations who kind of need to figure out a career and what to do moving forward. And but I would say the majority of the women these days who come to us have been through a lot, whether it's anything from incarceration through mental health, surviving domestic violence is kind of a big one in our program as well. Other kinds of abuse that they've been through or their children have been through, or, single moms that not all of them are moms, but single moms who are like, I want to do something different. I want to go back to school. And many of these women, it's been a goal of theirs for a while, and there's something that's been holding them back, whether it is some kind of challenge with mental health or some of the residual effects of like domestic violence or some of the trauma that the women have been through. And so maybe PTSD, high anxiety is really common.
Trauma of some sort,
of
really.
Some sort,
it seems like
right,
for the most
where
part,
they're,
one way or another.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they just, like, they really want to, but they're really anxious and they're really nervous and they have no idea what that even looks like. And if they can do it. There's often a lack of belief in themselves that we see quite often.
Well, and if you haven't been to school in a while,
and
that's
that too.
difficult, It's
been out of school 20, 30 years sometimes,
Right, can I even make it in school? I mean, it would be scary. It would be a scary thing.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's a huge range. Like this term, winter term, we have ages 19 to 60 in our class.
Really?
So, and of
nice.
many diverse
like
backgrounds.
Yeah.
So there's quite a range of women, and it's really nice to see these women from different backgrounds and different experiences coming together and really supporting each other through the program.
And that's one of the things I really noticed before when I was talking with some women from transitions, is that there's a lot of support within the group for each other. Rhonda, you are a part of that program now, mentoring other people in the program. How do you feel about that? Was the support from other women important to you?
It was very important. So when I first decided to go to transitions, to the transition programs, I was actually, my background is I was in my addiction for so many years, and I was off the grid.
That's probably common too.
Yeah,
I imagine.
And so when I got clean, I think it was almost 3 years clean. I just knew I got a job, and I was moved up in the company as a manager, but I just knew there was something more I wanted. I just thought, well, the best thing is education. So I did decide to make that leap, and I had no idea. I didn't even, I knew I wanted to, and I knew that I didn't have to just settle with just being a 9-to-5 job with no.
You wanted a career.
Yes, I wanted a career, and I wanted to get paid.
Well, yeah, a good career. A career with a living wage that would,
comfortably, So I had a pamphlet, and because I was still going to treatment outpatient, and one of my mentors at that program, she gave me a pamphlet, and I held on to it, and it took me 6 months, but eventually I did call, and at that time it was the other coordinator, Stella, and so I gave her a call, and I showed up. It was a deadline of spring 2017, but I made it. And not knowing what to do or what was ahead of me,
kind of reaching out for grasping at straws, huh?
Yeah. And so I know, for me, I had no computer skills. I graduated from high school in 1990. Not 2000.
Not even the
1990, and I had, computers were just getting started there.
Yeah, right.
So I had no idea, and I really just needed help, that support, and so I'm glad that I did give myself a chance to give transition a call, and so I've been there ever since. And so one thing I do know that I wouldn't have got through it with if I didn't have the mentors helping me, especially with the homework assignments. Even though I was, I could read and write and everything, but like I said, I had no computer skills.
Right, and everything's different now. I mean, everything's on computers. Even just going to school would be very difficult if you had no computer skills, because really everything is. And you're expected to do your homework on computers, right?
Yes. Exactly, and you have to email assignments to teachers, and I know you did do that computer class a couple times. There's a free computer class that our students are able to take.
That's good.
When they are in that situation.
So do you have a computer now?
Yes, I got a laptop, and I saved up enough, but I did. It was a commitment I made to myself. I said, if nothing, I will channel. One thing, if I'm going to school, I will channel all my energy into going to school, because I want to get through, and I'm going to get through the finish line. So, and I've been there ever since.
So where are you at in the whole process now?
Now I've got one more year. I'm in the Environmental Health and Safety program.
Great.
Yes.
Great program to be in. I like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm actually able to, now I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. That is it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
It's like, because at first I was totally not knowing, not sure, like, what am I gonna do? What, you know,
can I make it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I even pass? You know, am I even smart enough? You know, I really did. I had all these thoughts that, you know, like, am I college material? And I'm glad if I went without going to transitions, I think I wouldn't have made it my first term.
Well, and what you said, Mallory, about people not having confidence in themselves, you know, and not knowing if you can do it. Having somebody there to really kind of hold your hand and help you through it and say, yeah, you can do it, you know. I did it, you can do it.
Yeah.
So now you're doing that for other women.
Yes.
That's great.
And that's got to be rewarding.
It is. I love the connected with the other women. I make really close connections from every class, and even after I see them in class. I see them through the hallways. They come to the office, or even just when we're out. Someone might give me a call and say, "Listen, I need help." And can you can you just proofread this, or I need help with my math, or where would I go?
And now they are asking you for help. Imagine that.
Yeah,
that's got to be a good feeling. So what were some of the biggest barriers for you to succeed? What were the things that you got help with that you don't think you would have overcome by yourself? Besides, like, confidence.
Computer skills.
Computer skills was the main thing, and I beat
thing.
myself up when I first walked in there, and I was in tears. I was like so overwhelmingly upset with myself, and I felt like, why didn't I do this a long time ago?
Yeah. Well,
but I did. I pushed myself, so that was a big barrier. But I did know they had the resources. Why I asked, and they said there's a free computer class, so I did. I took it twice. It was free. Why not?
Really, why not?
Yeah.
Take it. Well, see, and that's impressive that you took advantage of the things that were offered to you, because I think there's a lot of stuff out there for people that a lot of people don't take advantage of. You know,
so that was I just pushed through things that I know, like just from paying attention to class, like literally actively listening. And my writing was not as good then, but now it's improved. I'm running. I started my scholarships. I do have, even though I have FAFSA, I am. Ever since I've been 2017 spring, I've been writing on scholarships ever since.
That's great.
So
does Transitions help you apply for those scholarships?
Oh yeah,
there's a class. One of them is a
we
class.
spend a lot of time working with students in scholarships, and most of the scholarships, the state like OSAC scholarships and the school scholarships are due now, spring. Mount Hood does do twice a year scholarships. So for the spring term, we're not offering that class, but we are offering support. We always offer support with writing those essays and searching for scholarships and having
it can be kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, and we just found out that 3 of the people we help with just got awarded a scholarship that they're going to go and receive next week.
Seroptimus?
The Seroptimus.
I'm a member of the Seroptimus.
Wonderful.
I'll be
They're
at the award luncheon.
Big supporters of our program, and there's always at least a few every round that get the Seroptimus scholarships.
Yeah, good. I was meant to ask you about that earlier, and I hadn't gotten around to it. Because I haven't met the new winners, but that's great.
It's a big deal. It's a big part of what we do is helping people find that funding, that extra funding for school.
You need it, and I know the Seroptimus you can use the funding for whatever you want, which is nice because and not all scholarships are like that. But if you have a variety of scholarships, that's great. That can be a lifesaver because college is not cheap. No, it's not. So what do you intend to do then? You said environmental
health and safety. So I'm still in there, but like today we went to DEQ and I met a lady there, and she was she managed DEQ, and so I thought she told us that she went to business school, but she manages DEQ. I was like, I could totally see myself. You can see yourself doing that.
Well, I think you probably have a lot of options.
Yeah, there's so many options. Risk management, construction at a,
you could be at any number of companies doing that.
Yes.
Well, it's exciting. It's exciting to know you have that future ahead of you now. So,
And good pay, too.
And good pay. Good pay is always really, really nice. So when somebody wants to become part of this program, the first step would be to just give you guys a call, right?
Give
just
us a
call
call, set up an intake appointment. Then we kind of run through all of the pieces of the program. The primary class that we offer is the career and life planning course.
Okay.
That's like our main core class, because it's hard to do anything right for scholarships or figure out your path through education if you don't know exactly what you're drawn to and what you want to do. So it gives people a term to really kind of figure that path out.
So if you don't have a clue, I mean, you just know you want to go back and improve your life situation by going to school, but you don't have a clue what you want to do, you can kind of help with that.
And even people who kind of do have an idea, but then aren't 100% sure, what does that actually mean? How much school is involved? I mean, there's just like a lot goes into kind of figuring that path out. And we've had a lot of students who completely change their mind going through the course, and they're like, you know what, actually, I think this is a better path for me, and this is actually the direction, not that. I thought
and
it
to
was
have
that,
the support of, you know, helping make that switch is kind of a big deal, I think.
And the other big, not just the mentors, you know, I call myself the success coach, and so I help with a lot of outside resources to help the students with that. And then, you know, if there is something else needed, and I mean, there's a huge range. I could list like dozens and dozens of things that I help students with, just to help them in their outside life to be able to focus on school.
Yeah.
Resources, all kinds of things. And then, but we do also offer, when you complete the program, we're part of a college match savings program. A lot of people don't know this, but it's one of the best in the state. And basically you commit to 1, 2, or 3 years of paying into it. And
this is after you graduate?
After you finish the one term. And the state matches 5 times. Yeah.
Wow.
So $20, state gives you 80. So, yeah, so it's a really great.
Yeah,
so
well,
even
you can
if this,
start. I mean, and you can start saving, because that's something people a lot of times take forever to start doing. And really, you might as well get started on it now.
But it's the best match in Oregon.
That's great.
And they'll match up to 10 grand.
Wow.
So some students save that for graduate school, or if financial aid runs
or
out.
Just life.
Right, and it does go towards tuition, but then a lot of students will use that for tuition and then use the financial aid to live on. And it's just really helpful, those extra funds. So if they don't end up getting all the scholarships that they want, you know, it's an extra way to help with that funding as well.
Right. I think, you know, I think there's probably a lot of people that have gone to college who have dropped out or who have just not made it, who could really use that help, you know. Do you have room in your program for more people?
Yeah, so for spring term, which starts the Tuesday the 31st of March, we have about 15 spots open still right now. And so we are actively recruiting for spring term.
Good.
And one thing else I want to add to that is that another part of our program isn't just the class, but we do have an hour a week of kind of skill building and group bonding time. It kind of builds that community. We bring people in from different parts of the college to help with things like time management or effective note taking, or there's like a really nice motivational workshop that they'll do for our group, and we do some other activities.
We did a vision board.
I've
kind of
been there
fun
before.
stuff together.
I've been there before when a lot of the mentors had gathered with the students, and they were doing all sorts of kind of interesting little exercises that were, you know, help them bond with each other and get to know each other better. And it was really interesting. It was really fascinating, and I really enjoyed watching that. I thought, oh, this is so cool. You know,
and I'd love to see the women afterwards take classes together and then support each other and do homework together.
Yeah.
2 of our mentors just got into the medical assisting program together, and they're both starting spring term together, and so they're excited to get to do homework together and take classes together.
Well, that support goes on.
It continues long after our program.
Right. Yeah. So what do you get out of the mentoring? I mean, you know, I know it feels good to help somebody else, but you know, what does it give back to you? And would you encourage other people to do that?
Well, for me, it gives me what I get out of it is I've learned how to how do you say it? How to work better with other, you know, all diversity, you know, all walks of life.
Right.
You know,
which is is an important
Yes,
skill to have.
and you know, and a lot of times women have a hard time working together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know,
That's right.
and it has actually. I'm more of an active listener. I
Huge
don't,
skill.
you know, I'm. It's helped me to be aware of my triggers, things that my character defects.
We all have them, right? We all have them.
You're so
but it
patient.
just-
You're so
yes,
patient too.
But
So
I just love, I really truly believe, believe that I'm glad that there was a connection, like a bridge, and transition helped me, and it helped me get
Over that bridge.
over
huh?
that bridge.
Yeah.
And so that's what I want to, that's
You
what I
wanna
get
provide
out of
that
it.
for
Yes,
somebody else.
provide. Just
Yeah.
they just need that
You're
help.
giving back. You're giving
Yes.
back, and that's a great feeling.
So it is. It's a good feeling.
Good.
And then I do get support from the women, the other mentors, the women that I do help. May Lori, Jenny, Liz, the whole transitions. We all have it's more than just a program. It's literally a safe place to be.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
We're just about out of time, but I want to say real quickly, there is a Transiciones program as well.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. Transiciones.
Yeah, so that's for
Transiciones
Spanish
looks a little
speaking.
bit different. It's for Spanish speaking.
Yeah.
It's all taught in Spanish. It's a little different in that it's our program is 3 credits, but there's a 7. It goes over 2 terms.
Okay.
It kind of gives the women a little bit longer to improve their English before
Right,
jumping
right.
into the regular
And
English
some
curriculum.
who have kind of a handle on English, I know, have come through your program because they felt like that would help them improve their English to be around other English speakers. So, it's nice that they have the options. So,
Yeah, so that's
we are
available.
out of time. I thank you both for
Yeah,
being on the
thank
show.
you,
Transitions program at Mount Hood Community College is a great program, and thank you for the work you're doing there and for mentoring, and good luck to you in your future. Thanks very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Thanks for watching this first segment of Community Hotline. We'll be back in a moment with more, so please don't go away.
Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides the opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. The Outlook, serving the residents of East Multnomah County for more than 100 years. The region's #1 source for information, The Outlook provides readers with intensely local coverage of the issues and people that impact our lives and community. The Mount Hood Cable Regulatory Commission, advocating on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels. A very special thanks to all our sponsors who help make our programming possible.
How does access to the internet affect people's lives in Multnomah County? Who's included in our digital economy and who's being left out? Whose voices and experiences are being represented in local media? Your Voice 2020 intends to find out. Hi, I'm Monica Weitzel, host of Community Hotline. At MetroEast, we encourage all Multnomah County residents to fill out the survey so you can have a say in shaping a roadmap for an accessible and inclusive technology future. It's quick, easy, and anonymous. Go to yourvoice2020.mhcrc.org to take the survey online or find out how to get a hard copy. The survey is open through February 29, 2020. Please join us in advocating for the community's need and allocation of future resources, and share your voice. Every week on Community Hotline, we highlight the great work of local nonprofits in our area. And now you can also see us on our live Facebook feed, 7 p.m. every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. So tune in and find out what's going on in your community. Hi, and welcome back to Community Hotline. I'm Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. Thanks for staying with us. Now we're going to be talking with local celebrity Tobias Anderson. He is representing today the Sandy Actors Theater because he's directing a new production of Vanya and Sonia and Masha and Spike. Welcome, Tobias. It's great to have you on the show.
Monica, it's good to see you. It's been a while.
It has been a while. It has been a long time, but yeah. I'm glad to see you again.
Glad to be here again.
Yeah,
I'm still an East County resident.
Yeah,
regardless.
good deal. And we're the better for it.
Thank you.
So you have a very illustrious career. You know, you've done theater and you've done film and TV shows. You know, in Hollywood and around the world, really. But here you are in East County and directing a show for community theater, and that's it's kind of a nice circle, isn't it? Did you start?
It is a circle, and thank you for all that background. Yeah, I did have an early career in LA, and I enjoyed myself immensely, but I started doing stuff in Seattle, and the more I was in the Northwest, I liked it, and then I wound up in Portland, raising 2 daughters by my own self, and that was interesting. Thinking it would be a city where I might be able to make a living, and I have been lucky. I hit here in the 90s when they didn't have a lot of older actors. They do now. We have become a theater center, Portland has.
Yeah, there's a lot of good theater.
But I live in East County, as I have for a long, long time, ever since I came here. And I'm not acting as much. I'm now in my 80s. There's not as many parts for old geezer guys like me, though I can still do the work, but there's not much written. So I've always directed through the years. I love it. It's a totally different way of doing things. But I'm kind of considered an actor's director because I've been on stage so much, but when I do direct, and then I go ahead and direct and bring that knowledge. As I say, I'm not acting so much anymore, so I'm directing, and there's some great theater out here in East County, and Sandy Actors Theater is one of those.
You actually, didn't you start the Mount Hood Repertory Theater?
Well, I did.
Yeah.
I won't say a lot about that. We were successful for 12 summers.
Yeah, I remember that.
I wished we'd had a little better support, but I will point out for your viewers that Clackamas Community College is now, their summer is now, as we were, a professional theater. And they're doing a couple of plays a year and a musical, so it's worth checking it out there. But in the meantime, you can come to Sandy Actors Theater and see, I never get this right myself, and I'm directing it, Vanya, Sonia, Masha, and Spike.
You got it.
Yeah.
So this production is starting March 13th. So, you know, we have got about a month till it starts through April 5th, a satirical comedy. Can you tell us just a little bit about what the play's about?
Well, I've been saying it's a little bit like, there's a touch of it that's like Shakespeare, in that you can see it and enjoy it on more than one level. It's an out-and-out farce. It's really, really funny, and a lot of funny things going on in it. But if you do know Chekhov, the Russian playwright, you will also enjoy it on another level. The characters of Vanya, Masha, and Sonia come straight pretty much from Uncle Vanya, the play itself.
Okay.
And Spike happens to be a young man who is following. Well, let me start back. Vanya and Sonia are this couple, brother and sister, have been living here for a long time in this home. And they have a sister who has become quite a star, a movie star, a stage star. And she has come to visit them, and she has brought Spike along. And Spike is, as we used to say, a boy toy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's simply a plot that goes along about living and dealing with things that come along. And in this case, Masha has come to sell the house.
Oh, okay.
Because, like she said, she can't afford to keep it going anymore.
Yeah.
And
So you get the family dynamics in here.
Indeed. And Vanya and Sonia, who brother and sister have been living there, are not all that happy about that. And that's essentially the plot, but there are other wonderful characters. There's a character called Cassandra, and she's well named. She comes in and she says gloom and doom over everything, but she's also the cook, and she cleans up. Delightful characters that one-up each other with clever dialogue and a lot of jokes. This is kind of suitable, I think, for 12 and up.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good to know.
And it's a great date night movie.
Oh, fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Have yourself a bite to eat out in Sandy, a good barbecue joint or someplace.
Yeah, and Sandy has grown a lot. I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
Yes, it has. And Sandy Actors is really to be commended. They've been going for a number of years, producing a season year after year after year. This is my third time directing with it, and I've really enjoyed it. It's I'm very well supported here.
Good, good. And they've done a lot of great, interesting shows. Some of them I've heard of, that everybody's heard of. Others I've never heard of. And that makes it kind of interesting. You look at the list of what they have going on from season to season.
And I really urge your audience to come and see them. I like to say about theater, there's one thing about it: you cannot get it on the internet.
That's true.
It's the one thing you have to come and sit and enjoy, have a laugh-filled evening. It will never be the same off the television screen.
Right.
Though there's enjoyable stuff on television, but it's not the same.
Yeah. Live theater is just a whole different ball game, isn't it? I mean, just being able to be there, watching somebody live doing it, knowing they could be making mistakes.
It can actually be thought-changing, life-changing, I think.
Yeah.
I just finished one, directing one about the Scots monkey trial. Some of your audience might know that. And a lot of people came because they're interested in that, and it turned out to be it was a great run, a good time had by all. So I'm going to continue directing out here as much as I can.
Good, good. Now you mentioned working with some of the actors and the younger actors, and you have a lot of knowledge because you've done this for years and years. Do you enjoy that? Do you enjoy working with, say, some up-and-coming actors?
I really love it. One of the things I've found, I have to admit, when I came out of this, and I really wasn't going to work all that much as an actor anymore, I thought, well, what am I going to do? And I realized when I started working in community theater that there's a lot of young baby birds out there with their beaks open saying, feed me, tell me what you know. And fortunately, I do know a bit. And that is a great pleasure to bring people along. One actor I worked with recently, an agent came and saw him.
Oh, really?
I've sort of encouraged a young woman who I directed in another show to go on off to Chicago, because I said she really feels like she wants to go for it, and I'm saying, okay, that means Chicago, LA, and New York. If you want to make a living, you have to do that.
Right, right.
Otherwise, you can be like a great many and talented actors, of which we have several in this play, and you have a great day job that you really like, and one that will let you occasionally get off for a rehearsal. and then you do great theater in Portland. There's a number of actors like that.
And what a great way to do it. I mean, you have a job that pays your bills, but then you can do this in the evening or the weekends or whatever, and really feed your passion.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And share that with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the actors who you are mentoring or working with or who are absorbing your knowledge are probably really benefiting, because that's a huge thing to have somebody who's had the experience you have, not just in community theater, but throughout the.
Well, like I say, I do think it helps a lot to have been on stage.
Yeah.
We are the only profession, I like to say, I digress, but we are the only profession I know that has what's called the glassy-eyed look.
The glassy-eyed look.
Yeah, that's when you're looking at another actor and his eyes are glassy and he doesn't know what the next line is, and you're going to have to get him out of it.
You're going to have to prompt him.
We're the only business, industry, whatever, that has that kind of thing to deal with.
I never thought about that, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Anyway, and we have, just 5 excellent, marvelous actors in this show. Good turnout.
Good. And I know I've met Anita, who is involved with the Sandy Actors Theater. She has a pretty good pedigree as far as her, background too.
She's got a real background.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. So does the fellow playing Vanya. His name is Jim Butterfield. He moved here recently. He has been at ART. He's been doing Shakespeare. I directed him in a version of Antigone, and I'm really lucky to have the guy out here.
Good.
He's a mature actor, and that's not always easy to find, somebody who's East County and works in community theater, but he does.
Good.
And
hang on to that one.
Everybody in this you're going to really enjoy them. I'm sure.
Good. So you said 12 and up. I like that you mentioned that 12-year-olds and up would enjoy this, because I think it's really important for families to take their kids to see theater if you're able to do that. I mean, we can't say prices on the air here, but I know that they're affordable and
very affordable.
Yeah, they're very affordable.
Tickets, an easy drive, folks. You don't have to drive downtown and hassle with parking.
Yeah, that's right. That is a benefit right there.
It's a real benefit, and come out and have one of Joe's Donuts or none of those little shops that are out there that are really cool. They have matinees for people who don't want to drive at night.
Oh, that's good.
They play Friday, Saturday, the Sunday matinee. Oh, I'll have to check with someone, but it's either 2 or 3 o'clock. But the evening shows are at 7:30.
Good. Okay. Yeah, because that's bring the whole family. Unless you got a little
12 and up,
ones,
it is a family show. It deals with a few little issues.
Yeah. Well, if they're really young, this wouldn't be for them. But you don't want to get them bored anyway. So, but if you've got some older kids, that's a good way to expose them to some culture and something fun.
Nothing gives me more pleasure than to have a teen.
Yeah.
And
it's a great thing to get involved in as a teenager, to start,
Absolutely.
I remember in high school being in plays, and I loved it. It was so fun. I've thought about that before. Those were really good times,
You be careful there, Monica. I might have to get you out there for an audition of some kind.
Well, that would, I've thought about that before. I thought, that'd be kind of fun, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to in the future then? You've got this, this is going to go on through April 5th. Then do you look further than that ahead, or you just kind of wait and see what comes your way?
No, I'm actually, since I've started doing this, I'm a little bit sought after, I guess. After this play, I'm directing a musical out at Nuts and Bolts.
Okay.
That's an East Coast East County theater.
Yep, sure
Everybody watching this, man, you should go see this.
Yeah.
They're doing a musical, and then after that, there's a Once Upon a Mattress. That's what I was thinking
fun.
of. Once Upon a Mattress. That's the musical that made Carol Burnett famous.
Yes, I remember
It's great.
that one.
It's funny. They do great musicals out there. People should come. And I'm trying to think. Oh, the last thing I'm lined up. 2 more. I'm doing Hay Fever, which is an old Coward play for the Twilight Theater Company. That's in North Portland.
Right.
And then back at Nuts and Bolts again for Bell Book and Candle.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, it was a lovely movie with Jimmy Stewart and Kim
is that
Novak.
right?
And Kim Novak is a witch who thinks she'd like to have Jimmy Stewart fall in love with her, and he does. And the problem is a witch can't fall in love back.
Oh, dear.
That's the plot.
Interesting. Well, you are rather sought after then, aren't you?
I've been really lucky ever since I moved here. I'm also writing, and that I'm pretty serious about. I actually went on a writing cruise.
Really? Oh,
Yes,
that'd be
there's a
fun.
wonderful writer here in the country. She's a screenwriter, Cynthia Whitcomb, screenwriter, television writer, and she takes a group out every year on a cruise, and you write on the cruise and read your stuff at night, and then you
kinda critique
and this
each
one
other's
I
work,
wound
or-
up in Rome after that. Lovely way to do it.
Yeah,
and I'm
sounds good to
inspired to
me.
write it, and I'm going to write my memoirs. I was telling you, I mean,
You've
I
worked with
worked
some
with
of
damn near everybody, including we were talking about. I worked with Henry Fonda in a Bell Telephone industrial film. That's, most people don't know. I wouldn't list a,
I may have
credit like
seen that. I used to work there years ago.
Indeed.
Wow. Yeah, you really have. You've had a career that spans a lot of different different genres, I guess, movies and TV and the theater, and then with all sorts of well-known people.
Well, I'm always getting asked on a form, now, are you retired or not? And I say, well, it depends on the time of year that you ask me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, I might as well go on with that. Yeah, I'm busy all the time because Portland and East County are two very busy theater places.
Yeah, and we're the better
We now
for
have
it.
two musical theater companies in this city.
Isn't that amazing?
In Portland. That's amazing.
Yeah,
That support
that is.
musical comedy all the time.
Well, can you name something that was like one of your favorite things you were ever involved in as far as theater or film or
Oh,
TV?
man.
I mean, I know that you probably have a lot of different high points in your career, but
Well, yeah. I played a role in Shakespeare that most people wouldn't think I could have played. I played Falstaff.
oh, really?
I weighed a little more than then, but still it was done with makeup. And I think Falstaff's the best Shakespeare, best character that Shakespeare ever wrote.
So that was a
Period.
good
He's
one.
sublime, just sublime.
Was it challenging?
Yeah.
Do you like the challenge? Do you like it when it's a challenge?
Well, he's, I lost 14 pounds through the summer playing that because I was in a fat suit and all that sort of thing. But he's just a great character, and I have a memory of playing in the play. The play is Henry IV, Part 1, which is my favorite Shakespeare. Imagine an evening on the shores of Lake Tahoe with a dark blue sky and the golden moon and the water lapping, and I'm reciting the honor speech that Falstaff has in front of 600 people sitting on the sand.
I have been to Lake Tahoe and watched Shakespeare on the
yeah.
lake there, and it's amazing.
It's
a wonderful experience.
That's one that I will remember. And I do Clarence Darrow as a one-man show, and
yeah, I read about
was
that.
taken halfway around the world to Pakistan, where we all think they're terrorists. No. This group of brothers and sisters named Pirzada have a festival that goes on for 3 weeks, 7 theaters going all the time.
Wow.
Puppets, musical stuff, all of it. And then I went on and played it to the government in front of government officials and the Supreme Court.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
And they really got it. They understood
Really?
what Darrow stood for. There's a lot of that goes on more than the average audience would know. There's a lot of outreach things going to third world countries, especially out of a theater called ART here in Portland.
Really?
Yeah.
I wasn't, that's
Yeah, they
artist
just went to
repertory theater.
Egypt, and
yeah.
they're going to with a musical, and they're going to go back to is it Lebanon? I don't remember. Back to the Middle East anyway.
Yeah. Wow, that's great to know. I mean, there's a lot of theaters are doing that kind of outreach. I know a lot of them do outreach to like schools locally and that kind of thing, but I had no idea they.
Oh yeah, they do.
go around
They
the country.
do.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, we're just about out of time, Tobias. Is there anything else that we should know about Vanya and Sonia and Masha and Spike, or about Sandy Actors Theater, or about you?
Well, I think everybody should consider buying a season at Sandy Actors. I mean, they're so reasonably priced, and they present plays, a range of them.
Right.
And
There's something for everybody, really,
take
in the
the
season.
lady out, have something to eat,
Yeah.
and go see a play.
That is a great date.
Something that
is
you will
a great
talk
date, isn't
about
it? Yeah.
when you go home.
Yeah.
You like that, or you didn't like this,
Yeah.
or whatever.
And that's the thing. Theater makes you think, right? There's always,
It
whether
asks-
it's just a comedy, it's a
It
comedy or
asks
it's
that of
yeah.
you. It does
Yeah.
ask that. It asks you to be present and have a good time.
I love it. Thank you so much, Tobias. I really
it was
appreciate
a pleasure to see you,
it.
Monica,
It was
and to
great
be
to
here
see you
again.
too. Thank you so
I hope
much.
you ask me back again.
Oh, trust me, we will.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching Community Hotline tonight. We will be here next week, so we'll see you then. In the meantime, have a great week.
Community Hotline is made possible with generous support by Gresham Ford, the dealer with a heart. The Contribute to the Community program provides the opportunity for the Gresham Ford team to make a positive impact, serving their customers and helping people across the community. The Outlook, serving the residents of East Multnomah County for more than 100 years. The region's #1 source for information, The Outlook provides readers with intensely local coverage of the issues and people that impact our lives and community. The Mountain Hood Cable Regulatory Commission, advocating on behalf of the public interest on communications policy issues at the local, state, and federal levels. A very special thanks to all our sponsors who help make our programming possible.